As soon as it comes up there, go live, you can go live. That one will start automatically. There it is, it's green, so that one's going. There we go, go live. So you can use the whiteboard down there beside you to write me any messages that I need to know about. Yeah, it's right there on the table. It's got a little eraser on it too. So yeah, that should help. I can't see anybody who's joining today because I don't have anything in front of me to do that. So, and I've got this up here. So, because I want to talk about this tariff issue today. Yeah, just share it over on. Well, it should be sharing to that page already.
Yeah, I'm just gonna share it to that page.
Okay. There we go. For all of those of you that are watching at the moment, welcome. I'll just open up a couple of pages here so that I can see what you guys are talking about, how much fun you're making of me. Hey, we got Mark Baker, we got MLH47, we got Wiley's 3D, Minnesota Maker. And over here on Facebook, who do we got? Nobody. Nobody's on Facebook yet. I can kind of see you guys, so just bear with me. Today we're getting into some of this tariff issues, so if you guys have any opinions about it, please let me know, and I'll definitely try and answer the questions as much as I know about it. I mean, it's really kind of a political issue more than anything else, but it is going to increase the price of filament in the U.S., so we are going to talk about that. All the chats are up. You can see everything already. Let's run that intro. Hey, welcome to the show. My name's Richard Cleveland. I'm your host here 3 times a week. Every Wednesday we do a live stream. And if you're new to the show, then what I'm going to ask you to do, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, hit the notification bell beside it, because then you get notified every time we put up a brand new episode or we go live. So let's get into today's topic, because we got a lot to cover and only a short time to do it. Today I'm going to be taking your questions, but right now I want to talk about this tariff expansion that's going to hit 3D printers right in the filament, as explained by Dan Maloney over at Hackaday. What does this mean? What do these tariffs mean? Well, what's going to happen for you guys, especially in the US, and that's where our biggest audience is you guys are going to get hit with a 25% tariff increase. Now, how is that going to affect the end consumer? I think if companies are putting it on their back end, you're going to see a dramatic increase. But if they put it in on their cost of doing business, you're only going to see a couple of dollar increase. That because then their margin is going to come down a little bit. But you guys are going to pay maybe, and I'm going to say maybe, somewhere in the neighborhood of $2 or $3 more for the filament that you're getting in the U.S. Now, what does this mean? Well, at the end of the day, things that have to do with 3D printing or filaments that have to do with 3D printing, I'm going to kind of read what it says here. Specifically targeted at typical 1.75 millimeter filament that most FDM printers like to eat. However, the line items specifically listed the proscribed items as being polymers of ethylene, acrylic, and vinyl chloride. Neither PLA or ABS, for the most popular printers, fits into any of those categories. Now, the next line item, though, which has been put out on line, if you haven't seen this, go and check out Hackaday's report on this. I think we have a link to it in our on our Facebook page. Now, what this means, though, is that the next line item, though appears to be the gotcha, monofilament Nesole, I'm butchering that word, not elsewhere specified or indicated, of plastics including ethylene, vinyl chloride, and acrylic polymers that would seem to be including plastic filaments of any dimension and made of any polymer other than those listed above, which represents a broad category of products that would include anything from fishing line to spools of weed whacker line, and apparently PLA and ABS printer filaments. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to bring it right up on the screen. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So you guys can see it now. You look down there at 3916.10, monofilament with cross-section dimension over 1 millimeter, rod sticks, profile shapes at most surfaces works of polymers of ethylene. We have polymers of vinyl chloride, and then we have of acrylic chloride. Now, the 3916.90.30, monofilament Nesole of plastics, excluding ethylene, vinyl chloride, and acrylic polymers. So they're going to put a 25% tariff on this stuff. There's no doubt about it in my mind. If the manufacturers want to keep their costs down, they are going to put it in on their cost of doing business. Now, what does that mean for smaller companies like Protopasta, who makes their filaments in the US? That could be a real issue because they bring in the pellets from China. If you haven't seen how filament is made, go and watch any Protopasta video. Protopasta, what am I saying? Maybe I need some pesto on my pasta, and then I can eat it. Maybe, I don't know. I'm rambling, it's Wednesday.
Derek Morrison was asking, why would U.S. tariffs impact Canadians?
They actually don't. Where it does impact us is on the tariffs that we now, here's the weird thing, in response to all the tariffs that have gone out, the Canadian government has put tariffs on things that are coming from the U.S. So we are getting affected a little bit. So if we buy our filament from the U.S., then we're going to see a little bit of an increase in price. But because we have repositories here in Canada, distributors, we've got filaments.ca, we've got Spool 3D, we've got Digit Makers, and there's a couple of others that get their materials from China. That's not affecting us. I don't want to get too political here, but what it seems like is happening is that Trump has decided that to run the country, you run it like he runs his hotel chains or any other business that he's been involved in. So if he's not getting his way, then he's going to add all these tariffs to line the pockets of politicians and get a little bit more tax in the coffers. Now, that being said, is that going to impact us? It can impact us a little bit if we go through the U.S. to buy our products, because we are putting tariffs on anything coming out of the U.S. We're not putting tariffs on anything coming from China, so if we get it from Amazon.ca, for instance, or any of the other local distributors in the country, we're not going to see any tariffs. But Protopasta is distributed in Canada by filaments.ca. I believe also digitmakers.ca has it as well. So we don't carry it here at Spool 3D, but at the end of the day, it is going to impact us a little bit. Any other questions there?
Nothing really. They're just saying unless we order our filament from a U.S. supplier, which gets filament from China.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's 85% of the filament that you're getting in the US and in Canada all comes out of China. Now, my understanding from any research that I've done is that there's about a half a dozen filament makers in China. Out of those half a dozen, there's 2 that are really good filament makers, and they make a variety of brands. Our house brand Spool 3D filament is made by one of those 2. We have excellent quality. Now, Filaments.ca has been saying for a while that they're making their own filaments, their house brand filaments, they make it. Now, they're not lying about that. They do make their own filaments, but they have a Chinese factory making their filaments. They don't make it here in Canada. I actually phoned Filaments.ca yesterday and got that answer from the lovely lady that I talked to on their customer service. Their filaments all do come from China or the US. So if anybody thinks that there's any filaments made in Canada right now, they're not. They're distributed in Canada. Now, the formula that Filaments.ca uses for their house brand is all Filament.ca. But they physically are not manufacturing it in Canada. They're manufacturing in China. So that has now been confirmed. Any of the videos that you saw of their manufacturing facility, it's actually a Chinese manufacturing facility. So getting back to the tariffs, how is that going to impact us? Well, if we order from the States, it's going to impact us in Canada. It's going to more hit the hobbyists in the US. You guys are going to see, like I said, probably about a $2 to $3 increase in the price of your filament. So your $15 filaments, you're probably going to see they're going to go up to about $18. Is that good for you? Well, it depends how much filament you buy. I know here I buy our house brand when I need to, and we sell it for $29 Canadian, which is roughly about $25 American, $23 somewhere in there. Yeah. So it's not considered a premium brand, but it is a premium filament. And I wanted to let you guys know that. So now if you are in Canada and you're looking for filament, there's plenty of people to go to. If you're in the States, there's plenty of people to go to. If you want to buy from Canada, then you're going to pay the shipping to the US. And that's where the killer is for Canadian companies to send to the US, the shipping rates are just stupid. Absolutely stupid, ridiculous. Oh, yeah. And it's even stupid, ridiculous in this country to send them across country. I don't get it. I don't know why our postal system wants so much money for shipping, but it is stupid, ridiculous for shipping. So what I would say to you is stick with the brand that you like, watch the pricing of it as it increases, and you will see a significant difference in the pricing. I'm going to bring over this guy. Come here. Come here, Roscoe. We got you on camera. Come here. Nope. He says, I'm not coming over. Oh, no, he's going for hugs with Brian. Brian's on the controls today. So if you guys want to read the whole article, I'm going to direct you to Hackaday and...
we got the link in the chat.
Oh, you got the links in the chat already? Okay. So I'm going to direct you there because the article is really kind of concise and it's very good. Now, a lot of you guys are probably looking at this thing on the desk right now, I'm assuming. I'm going to open up here and see what we got going on. Hobby Mike, hello. New York 3D Creations. Hi, guys, over there. You guys are doing some fantastic stuff over there. Jess says, I hear my boy. Yes. Jess is in the chat room as one of us. And there is, who else we got here?
We got
Derek Morris. Hello, sir. I'm going to go check over here. We've got, oh, there's Rover, us over, yes. Rover, we're going to have to somehow make you a mod. I don't know how we do that. Hang on a sec. I'm going to make you a mod over here. Well, obviously I can't. You can probably do it there, I think.
Likely, yeah.
If you click beside their name, I think you can.
On Facebook or?
On YouTube. Rover's a really good mod for our chat room. Canadian Maker Project uses him as well. Yeah, I'm not sure how. We'll find out how to do that. 3D Medic Vince. Afternoon, everyone. Derek Morris, has anyone started on the cable chain for the CRX? That ribbon cable needs to get out of the way. I agree. Now, I'm not going to give you guys all my thoughts yet on this machine. Today is the first day I've started printing with it. Yesterday, I recorded the installation of Cura and how to set up the CRX in Cura. Be aware, guys, that the Cura that is coming out with this machine is 15.04.6. And you may want to go and download that version because they've changed the way profiles are made from that version to the latest version. So, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that on Friday's show. We're gonna dive into the software and show you actually how to use this machine with the two filaments. One of the questions I've been getting, and I can kind of answer that here today, is can you use soluble supports with this? Now, while you can, do I recommend that you do? No, because this has a single nozzle with two inlets. The problem being is that the two plastics are at different temperatures. Now, yes, you can set. Is this retail? Yes, this is a retail one for NY3D. Yes, this is the retail version. Now, this is not the first run that went out. This comes from the second batch. So most of the problems have been fixed on it. There are still a few quirks here and there that I found, and I'm going to give you that in my final thoughts coming up on Monday when you get to see all the prints that we've done with this thing. And we'll really examine them really close on the Monday show. But on Friday, we're talking about the software, how to install it, how to use it, and how to mix the colors for 3D printing. Wiley's 3D. I hope you found yourself a place to live, Wiley. He was.
So Mike is in Jerry's Projects.
Oh, Jerry's Projects is here.
Over on Facebook, we have Gary Strong from Wisconsin.
Now that Jerry is back, for anybody that doesn't know, Jerry Knapp was away from our community for a little while. He wasn't feeling well. I'm really happy to see that a lot of you guys send him well wishes, and from all of us here at the First Layer, Jerry, you're a top-notch guy, and we're glad to see you back on the boards and back in the community and back printing. So if you have to reach out to any one of us, our lines are always open here. Jerry, you know that you can contact me anytime if there's anything that you need or any help that you need. Okay? So I wanted to let Jerry know that, and hopefully he heard that. Question for you guys. Now, I said this on the Monday show, and I'm going to say it again. What do you look for in a brand new printer? Whether you're building it yourself, or what are some of the things that you want in a printer? Put that down in the comments both on Facebook and YouTube today. And because I want to know. It helps our engagement. It helps us to know what you guys are looking for in upcoming shows as well. We are going to cover more on slicers in the upcoming weeks, just because we see that there's a lot of issues out there with slicers. Now, 90% of the problem that people have with their 3D printing, it's not the hardware, it's the software. And I'm discovering this more and more as I accumulate new machines. Now, this machine is not mine. This does belong to Spool 3D. What was that question? Rover's asking what the build volume on this guy is. This is a 300 by 300 by 400, the exact same dimensions as the CR10S and CR10. Now, this machine is not as quiet as I thought it was going to be. I don't want to get too deep into it. There's a couple things missing on it that we're going to talk about on Monday as well. So,
New York 3D is asking about the if we saw the Hicktop 2 color version. It has independent heads.
Oh, it does. I haven't seen it yet. If you can send me a picture of that, I'd love to put it up on our Facebook page. And that's from New York 3D Creations. Yeah, you New York 3D Creations guys, if you can put a link to that up on the Facebook page, that'd be great. Or put it in the chat, and we'll put a link to it. I'm not a huge fan of Hicktop. Anybody who's known me for long enough knows that that was my first printer, and I think it was the biggest piece of garbage that I'd ever used. I've built 2 printers that were better than that. Since then, I've given a couple of those printers away. I rebuilt the Hicktop, and that one I gave away as well. But I am going to be replacing my Wanhao Duplicator i3, however, with an Ender 3 in the upcoming months as well. So you guys watch for that. I'll be probably posting that. Anybody that's interested in it, you'll get it at a smoking, steaming good price. Here I am now. I'm flogging things. Now, some people have asked me recently about these things. Not my moobs, but the first layer shirts. If you want to get a first layer shirt, Distinctive Impressions is still taking orders for them. They are a little bit behind right now, and our thoughts and our hearts go out to Cheryl Zelenitsky from Distinctive Impressions, who's been doing our shirts. She right now got some bad medical news and is recovering, and she just had some surgery. So if you're interested, go to distinctiveimpressions.ca and order a t-shirt. They will be more than happy to accommodate you. Just give them a little bit of time because, like I said, she's just gone through surgery, and I don't want to get too much into her personal business, but she did message me privately and let me know what was happening. So you guys can go ahead and check that out. Yeah, but you still can't get these shirts. As you know, we're making some changes. The logo is changing just slightly. We're doing some changes back here, which are going to be implemented in the next couple of months once I finish printing off all the pieces that I need. We're going to have a really kind of neat looking piece back here. He wants to go play. But with that said, we are almost running out of time here. Let's talk about your questions here. Minnesota Maker, we got any questions that have come up or any comments that I need to know about?
Nothing too exciting.
Nothing too exciting.
Everyone's just hanging out this Wednesday.
Yeah, grab a cup of coffee. You know, I put up a link today for Buy Me a Coffee. There we go.
Yeah, we got a placeholder.
We got a placeholder today. This is McAfee. They are not a sponsor of the show, but I drink their coffee quite a bit. I drink their coffee so much that I actually buy it in the tin format for home. So I really like their coffee. It's better than Star Schmucks. And dare I say, now people are going to call me a not true Canadian, but dare I say it's better than Tim Hortons.
If they buy us a coffee, we can find out, right?
That's right. If you buy us coffee, we can find out. We'll do a taste test of different coffees on the show. That could be fun. So if you want to get in on the Buy Me a Coffee, you can go ahead to buymeacoffee.com/thefirstlayer, and every little bit goes into the same pot and helps us quite a bit with the show. Now, Patreon, I want to talk about that really quickly. Again, I admit I am behind on a lot of stuff. I have some video in the can that I just have to finish editing and get up on the Patreon page dealing with Darkseid. Right after we do Darkseid, I think we are going to paint up Luke Skywalker, and because I have a nice bust of Luke Skywalker, and then we are going to start working on our big project. Brian and I are going to build us a giant 3D printer, 500 by 500 by 1000 true Core XY printer. We are looking at putting in a touch screen for navigation, a large touch screen. I have Jess's dog in the studio today. He's at work with me today. And we're not letting him out to play with the other dog that's here because they tend to get a little too rambunctious. So he's crying a little bit. I feel sorry. I'll take him out for a walk after the show. What else have we got coming up? Oh, yeah. So question, as I said, question if you didn't hear it and you weren't here for it, what do you look for in a brand new printer? What are some of the features that you would like to see us maybe even put onto our big, massive printer build? That would be, that'd be a cool thing, right? Let's see what people want us to put on our big, massive printer build. Now, there we go. There's creations. Hey, there's Tim Barth. Welcome, sir. Jim McGregor, Frank Awesome. Now, Frank couldn't come in today, so how is he online with us?
I'm calling shenanigans.
I'm calling shenanigans on that one too. Frank's playing hooky. That's okay. That's okay. We're okay with having Brian here. We've got a bunch of changes coming to the channel real soon. We've got a bunch of things coming to the website when we finally finish it. There will be a store available, so you'll be able to get things like keychains and stickers and t-shirts and hats and all kinds of stuff. We're working on that. I am working on an ebook right now for 3D printing. And this is going to be sort of an introductory book, and then we'll follow it up with an intermediate and then an expert 3D printing book. And by no means am I an expert in 3D printing. There's a lot of things I don't know still, and I'm still playing with. We're going to be bringing you some new cinematic shots. We're trying to bring up our production value. If there's anything that you guys would like to see us do on the show, put it in the suggestions or in the comments down below here on Facebook and on YouTube, and we'll be happy to look at them and add them to our Trello list of things that we're doing, and go from there. So let's thank our big sponsor of the day, and that is, of course, spool3d.ca. Print it right, print it with Spool 3D. They have everything that you need, from printers to filaments to all the parts and accessories that you guys could possibly want. Go check them out today at spool3d.ca. Print it right, print it with Spool 3D. Now, mailing address. Yes, if you guys want to send anything in to us, we don't get it back to you sometimes in a reasonable amount of time. Ask Ron from Canadian Maker Project. I still have stuff here I have to send back to him. But if there's stuff that you would like us to show on the show, you can send it to our address at the first layer, 230 11929 40th Street Southeast, Calgary, Alberta, T2Z 4M8. And that will get to us, and we will definitely have a look at what you guys have there. If you have any questions for me after the show is over and you don't want to put them in any of the chats, you can send them to me at Richard@thefirstlayer. We're going to set up email accounts for Frank, for Jess, and for Brian as well. So you guys will be able to interact with them one-on-one as well. So we got a lot of things churning here as we grow the channel. We are coming up on our 1-year anniversary in October, and I think we're going to do a live stream for that. That's going to be a special week because we're going to have 4 episodes that week. A live stream on Wednesday, a live stream on Thursday, and then our recorded show on Friday. So we'll have a regular live stream on Wednesday, and then we'll have our 1-year anniversary, because October 4th is our 1-year anniversary for the show. And I got to thank each and every one of you that have subscribed. If you're new here, thank you for watching today's episode. If you're catching this in the restream, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Also, hit that notification button, and then you'll get notified every time that we do a live stream or that we put up a brand new episode. Now, one other thing I want to mention is I'm going to ask all of you out on a date. Anybody that's watching right now, I'm going to ask you out on a date. Yes, I'm being a little promiscuous. And what I mean by that is, if you haven't yet, come on over to our Facebook group page for the First Layer. Join in over there. We've got a lot of great people, a lot of great knowledgeable people over there. If you're having problems with either your printer, your software, filament that's not sticking to the bed, you can always put your questions in there as well, and somebody will jump in and answer them. I answer quite a few. Brian answers quite a few. Frank and Jess also get in on the action. Then we've got a whole community. There's 600 and some odd people over there that can answer questions. So make sure you come on over and join us over there at Facebook. And also enter, oh yes, enter our Gleam contest to win this guy. Wait. I have to duck down because I had it on a lower shelf. We have a Sunlu M1 3D printer pen that we're giving away on our contest for Gleam. And if you go over to our Facebook page, you'll see that we've got a link to it there over on our Facebook page, and I think we're going to put one in the chat here as well. And once we've done that, you guys can go check that out. If you haven't done that yet, go ahead and do that, and somebody's going to win one of these. The reason we went with Gleam, just so you guys know, is that it is just the easiest way for us to do it. In previous contests, I was putting all the names into a database and then putting it onto an online pick a name thing, and it was a real pain in the butt to try and do it. This way, it's in your hands. If you want to get in on the contest, you can. So with that said, guys, that is the end of the show for today. We're going to be back on Friday with a look at the software on the CRX. If you haven't yet seen part 1 where we actually unbox and assemble it, go and check that out. It's up on YouTube right now. And just remember that the first layer is always your foundation to a great print. Until next time, my friends, have a great Wednesday afternoon.